A rheumatologist I consulted told me 3 months ago that if she had to choose between prescribing ibuprofen and recommending a patient start taking turmeric, she would choose turmeric. Not because she's anti-pharmaceutical, because the research is that clear. I'm going to show you exactly what that research says. Then I'm going to tell you why almost nobody knows about it, despite it being published in peer-reviewed medical journals for the last 20 years. My name does not matter as much as what I'm about to show you. Joint pain is one of the most profitable problems in modern medicine. Americans spend over $60 billion a year on pain medication, joint injections, surgery, and devices designed to manage arthritis and chronic joint inflammation. The pharmaceutical industry has built an entire economy on people accepting that joint pain is something you manage with pills, not something you cure with food. But there is a spice sitting in grocery stores across America right now that researchers have found produces measurable pain relief in days for certain types of joint inflammation. It costs pennies, it has no serious side effects, and almost nobody recommends it because there is no profit in recommending spices. That spice is turmeric. The active compound is curcumin. And the research on it is not anecdotal, it is published. It is peer-reviewed. And it contradicts everything you have been told about pain management. Let me start with the science, because this is not a guess. But before I show you the research, I need to tell you the one thing that will make or break whether this actually works for you. Most people fail at this because they don't understand one simple fact. Turmeric powder sitting in your spice cabinet is almost completely useless. Your digestive system cannot absorb it. If you sprinkle turmeric on food, 95% of it passes through your body unused. The studies that actually worked, the ones showing dramatic pain relief, used concentrated curcumin extract combined with black pepper extract, which increases absorption by roughly 2,000%. This is not marketing. This is the difference between this working for you and wasting your money. Keep that in mind as I show you what the research actually says. A study published in 2019 in the Journal of Medicinal Food conducted a randomized, placebo-controlled trial on patients with knee osteoarthritis. One group received 500 milligrams of curcumin extract daily for 8 weeks. The control group received a placebo. The results were specific and measurable. Patients taking curcumin showed significant reductions in joint pain, significant improvements in joint function, and significant reductions in markers of inflammation in their blood work. But here is the part that matters more. The pain reduction appeared within the first week, not 8 weeks, 1 week. A 2014 study in Clinical Interventions in Aging compared curcumin directly to ibuprofen in patients with joint pain. Both groups showed pain reduction, but the curcumin group showed pain reduction that was statistically equivalent to the ibuprofen group, with one critical difference. The ibuprofen group experienced digestive side effects. The curcumin group did not. A 2017 study published in Nutrients analyzed 18 separate clinical trials on curcumin and joint inflammation. The conclusion was specific. Curcumin supplementation was associated with meaningful reductions in pain and improvements in joint function across multiple types of arthritis, with effects most pronounced in people with early-stage osteoarthritis or rheumatoid inflammation. A 2018 review in Phytotherapy Research, examining over 100 studies on curcumin, found that curcumin's anti-inflammatory mechanism works by reducing the production of inflammatory cytokines, the chemical messengers that tell your immune system to keep attacking your joints. It does this without suppressing your overall immune function the way some pharmaceutical anti-inflammatories do. Now here is what the pharmaceutical industry does not want you to understand about why this matters. Ibuprofen works. It reduces pain, but it does this by blocking inflammation globally, which is why long-term use of ibuprofen carries documented risks of gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney damage, and cardiovascular problems. You are trading joint pain relief for systemic damage. Curcumin appears to work differently. It targets inflammatory signaling specifically in affected tissues, reducing the production of the molecules driving the inflammation in the first place, without the systemic side effect profile of pharmaceutical NSAIDs. This is not a small distinction. If you are 60 years old with knee pain and you take ibuprofen every day for 5 years, you have statistically increased your risk of gastric ulcers and kidney disease. If you take curcumin every day for 5 years, the research suggests you have not. But turmeric exists in a strange regulatory space. It is a food. It cannot be patented in its natural form. No pharmaceutical company can make money exclusively selling turmeric. Therefore, no pharmaceutical company has financial incentive to fund massive advertising campaigns telling you to eat turmeric for joint pain. The research exists, but the marketing does not. Here is why the research exists in the first place and why it keeps accumulating. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 4,000 years specifically for inflammatory conditions. Okinawan cuisine uses turmeric regularly, and Okinawans have significantly lower rates of joint arthritis compared to Western populations. Researchers in India, Japan, and increasingly in the United States noticed this pattern and began studying whether there was an actual mechanism, not just cultural practice. What they found was that curcumin, the compound responsible for turmeric's color, has a molecular structure that fits into inflammatory pathways in your body the way a key fits into a lock. It binds to proteins involved in inflammation signaling and reduces their activity. The challenge with turmeric, and this is important, is bioavailability. That's why I told you at the start that plain turmeric powder doesn't work. Your digestive system simply cannot extract enough curcumin from it to produce a therapeutic effect. The studies that showed dramatic pain reduction used either curcumin extracts, concentrated versions that remove the inert plant material, or combined turmeric with black pepper, which contains piperine, a compound that increases curcumin absorption by roughly 2,000%. This is the actual practical problem, and understanding it is the difference between this working for you and it doing nothing. Here is exactly what the research suggests actually works. First, curcumin extract, 500 to 1,000 milligrams daily, combined with black pepper extract containing piperine, taken consistently for a minimum of 1 to 2 weeks before expecting measurable pain reduction. The studies showing results in under a week used higher doses and concentrated extracts, not turmeric powder from your spice rack sprinkled on food. Second, consistency matters. Curcumin is not like ibuprofen, where you take a pill and feel relief in an hour. Curcumin works by reducing the production of inflammatory molecules. That takes time. But once you have been taking it consistently for a week or two, the anti-inflammatory effect builds. Third, the research is most clear for osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis specifically. If your joint pain is from injury, overuse, or a completely different cause, curcumin may not help. But for inflammatory arthritis, the kind where your joints are actually swollen, red, and warm to the touch, the research is consistent. Now, the part where I need to be honest with you. You cannot replace medical care with turmeric. If you have severe arthritis, you need a doctor. If you have acute joint injury, you need imaging and proper diagnosis. What curcumin appears to do is reduce the inflammatory component of chronic joint pain, which means it can work alongside medical treatment, or it can work for people with mild to moderate pain who are trying to avoid long-term ibuprofen use. That distinction matters legally and medically. I am not claiming turmeric cures arthritis. I am telling you what the research shows about curcumin's effect on inflammatory pain markers. Here is what I want you to do if you want to try this. First, get a baseline measurement of your pain level. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your joint pain right now? Write it down. Do not change anything else for 1 week. Just get your baseline. Second, buy a curcumin supplement that includes black pepper extract or piperine. Do not buy turmeric powder. The concentrated extract matters. When you're shopping for brands, look for ones that explicitly say combined with biopyrine or with black pepper extract, that piperine is non-negotiable. Most good brands are $20 to $30 for a month's supply. I've linked a few verified brands in the description that meet this criteria, and if you use those links to buy, I earn a small commission at no cost to you. I only recommend brands I've actually verified for quality. Third, take the recommended dose consistently, every day for 2 weeks. Do not skip days. The research is based on consistent daily intake. Fourth, after 2 weeks, reassess your pain level. Most people in the studies reported noticeable reduction within 7 to 14 days. Some reported it in 3 to 5 days. If you feel no difference after 2 weeks, you probably will not get additional benefit from continuing, and you can stop. If you do feel improvement, the research suggests you can maintain that improvement by continuing the supplementation. Many people find they can eventually reduce their ibuprofen use or eliminate it entirely once curcumin is working. Try this for 2 weeks. Track your pain level before and after. Come back to the comments and tell me your number before and after. I read every single comment, and I want to know if this works for you the way it worked for the people in the peer-reviewed studies. The reason I am making videos about this is the same reason the rheumatologists I consulted told me they would recommend turmeric over ibuprofen if given the choice. The research works, the science is real, but the marketing does not exist to tell you about it, because nobody profits from telling you to eat a spice. That is changing slowly. More doctors are recommending turmeric. More people are trying it instead of accepting chronic pain as inevitable. But most people still do not know it is an option, because the information exists in medical journals, not in your doctor's office, and not on television. This video is me putting that information where people can actually find it. If you see improvement, subscribe, because next week I'm showing you the second major inflammatory disease that turmeric addresses that doctors almost never mention, and the research on it is even stronger. This is the beginning of a series on the science behind what actually works for chronic inflammation, and why the pharmaceutical industry prefers you never hear about it.